Greetings, weary traveler. Man, it's good to be back on a show. Come warm yourself by the fire and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of heroism, tales of adventure, tales of Tamriel. I'm your host, Aggelos, and we are back. Sorry I was off last week. I was not feeling well, and I'm sorry you had to endure Ark leading the show. It was just awful.
Wow.
Whoa. Shots
I mean, I agree, but still, wow.
How you doing, Ark?
Not 100%, but we have some exciting news for those who don't follow us on Twitter, and a good show, so I'm here, pumped up, and ready to go.
Yeah. And I'm just kidding, everyone. Everyone should know Ark did a fantastic job while I was away, so he did fantastic. So I'm so glad of these guys.
Thank you.
I always have to give Ark a hard time. So.
If only you have written the intro and outro properly in the show notes, so I wouldn't have struggled reading it, but it's
If
fine.
only you had been on the show for 80 episodes with me and heard me repeat it every single week, you think you would have memorized it by then.
I think I have it
No, by
memorized.
then I do not listen to you at all.
Uh-huh.
I just block you out throughout the show, just because I'm not hearing any of your Sexplar nonsense.
All I know from
Oh.
listening to last week is you probably would have finished that dungeon had you played a Sexplar. That's kind of what I'm gathering from the whole thing.
That was the takeaway.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Of course.
Anyway, we also have Lotus of Doom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. I'm glad to have you back. And I guess this is about as good a time as any, right? Because Promethean is now officially part of the Tales of Tamriel crew.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm
Dungeon
so
crew is complete.
happy. Yes, I'm so happy to be officially on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're
I'm
glad-
happy to be here.
We're glad to have you, buddy. You guys did great last week, even when I wasn't here. So, I'm really happy to have Promethean as part of the team here. So, yeah,
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. Also,
You know-
got to
you know
give a. Oh, go ahead. Someone's saying
As well as
something.
I'm sorry I cut you off, but
That's
we
okay.
can both not be here, and then they would still be a show. That means we can just sleep now.
Is it time for
Yeah.
us to retire?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't know how well it's going to
All
work.
along.
you got two console plebs trying to run the show. That seems like a bad plan.
One who just explained how technologically dumb I am with computers. So,
All right, Ark. I guess neither one of us are ever leaving the show, ever.
Nah, I suppose.
never.
Man.
I don't know. I don't know if I could at this point. Come on, Ark. I've been here for at least 175 of the episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've hit
Yeah.
like a good 98% of these, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of episodes in total that I was not on. So
Yeah.
I think there were 3 or 4 where I was not on at all. I had stepped away and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. And I literally made it 3 or 4 episodes before I made it back.
Yeah, you're like, just kidding, guys. I'm
Just
totally
kidding.
back.
I'm totally back. Just totally non-committal when it comes to this game. Kind of like all over it. I am quitting ESO for a day.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny is I've managed to, just because of school and things, I've taken several month breaks at a time, and then I come back to it and I think to myself, I'm like, what an idiot I must have been to leave the game for several months.
I think the longest I made it away from the game was a month and a half. And that was, I think, when World of Warcraft Legion came out.
Yeah.
And
So you had
it
something to
was.
distract you.
something to distract me. And then I came back, and I'm just like, oh, dear heaven, why did I ever leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and that was the longest I ever made it without playing this game, at least, for
Yeah,
more than a day or two.
I was going to say, I think mine was Fallout 4's launch. I think that was my longest break. And then right back to it.
I think when Witcher 3 came out, I did a couple weeks where I wasn't playing, but it was only a week or two where I wasn't playing when Witcher 3 came out. But then I I wasn't done with Witcher 3, but I kind of was like, no, I got to get back in, so I kind of just split my days between what I was playing.
Yeah.
Which I don't count that as a break per se, just more or less.
Well, it's funny because like even the devs on their Twitters, because I like follow most of them because they just like to chat and stuff, and it's like they even post out like when Spider-Man launched, they're like, oh man, great game guys, and they all had like spider pics and stuff like that. I was like, man, these guys are just like generic gamers like the rest of us.
Yeah. I took a big break for Spider-Man because that was a cool game.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I will say I follow all the devs, and all the devs mostly follow me except for Gina.
Oh.
Somebody on that staff, Gina, doesn't follow me on Twitter. All the rest of the staff do, except for one, Gina. Maybe that'll change after this episode. Either that or I'll be blocked. I don't know. It could go either way. Yeah, I mean, it really could go either way at this point. I'm probably.
This is true.
Oh, I'm probably blocked now, and my account's banned. Oh, great.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird that my suddenly my bank is empty. What's happening?
What's going on here? I just got kicked out of the game. Can't log back in. I don't know what's going on. All my characters were made into Altmer. What's going on? My wife just came down and looked at me like I'm crazy. I am crazy. Okay, doing a live show here, baby. But what's on the counter? Comes down, she's like, I know what's on the counter. I'm like, well, that's great, but I'm in the middle of a live show, so.
Hi, Thays.
Oh, not appropriate for a live show. Okay, well then just save that for later.
Better. Even better.
That makes it so good.
Okay, so a Khajiit rubbed its butt across our counter. All right, makes sense.
Oh, no, that's totally stream appropriate.
Yeah, no, I mean, I even brought it in lore, so there you go. One of our Khajiits has some stinky butt glands and decides to rub all over our counter.
Look, it even ties into the new DLC, Merkmeyer hype, right there.
Merkmeyer hype. Well, maybe he can hang out with Art because he already smells like a toilet. So.
Wow, I'm trying to do something here, and wow.
You know what's really funny is
it
we've
is.
been going for like 14 minutes and we haven't even really got into the show yet because before we get into the show, I really got to say hi to the chat room as well as give shout outs to our newest patron supporters over at patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. That is Johan, our first executive producer level patron, Spectral Spire.
Ooh.
Thank you so much, mate, for that. And of course, who's the other person? Hold on. I know I'm going to mispronounce this and I feel really bad. I'm just going to say it. Michalis. Michalis is what the name is going to be. It almost looks like Michael, but not. I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. So anyway, we appreciate your support over at patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. That does help us keep the metaphorical torches lit. And yeah, happy day. And whoever has the stream on probably needs to mute it. I hear feedback.
All of a sudden I hear us again.
I blame somebody. I don't know who.
I'll take the blame.
We'll blame Ark. Ark's been here longer.
Why?
Well, so I do have people over, so you might be hearing them.
Well, no, it's not
it's an
them.
echo.
I'm hearing myself. So that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a looping
Is it
thing.
still happening right now?
I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, wait, yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's Ark.
It's not me,
I have no
then.
idea.
Yeah, let me move.
It's Ark. I know it. Oh, goodbye, kids.
Muting up myself. Let's.
All right, he's gonna mute himself. I'm talking, and guess what? I don't hear anything. Guess what? It is Ark.
Well, we just arbitrarily blame the right person.
Oh, and he just left the call.
Oh.
Man.
It passed away.
This show is just going downhill hard.
Yeah, I was going to say,
quick.
rest in peace, Ark. And
Anyway, patrons, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Let us actually talk about iTunes reviews because we do have some awesome iTunes reviews. Albeit there's a few of them that I think the validity of which is to be questioned.
I can't imagine what you mean going into these, not have previously read any of them.
Well, another way you can support us is obviously subscribing to us here on twitch.tv/Dungeon Network. By the way, anyone who supports us via Patreon or Twitch gets access to all of our podcasts at least 24 hours early, sometimes longer. So, hey, that's a perk. And I still hear myself, Ark. I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea how is that happening right now. It's like I have everything but Discord muted, and Discord is channeling through these, which are not like these are not speakers. They're just in my head.
Wow.
Ah.
Anyway.
And is it just you, or
Yeah, are all of us echoing? Like, am I echoing? I don't hear myself echoing. Does that mean it? Oh wait,
I
yeah.
think it's just
haven't heard
Ag
myself.
echoing for some reason. Maybe the problem is Ag, and he's blaming us.
Why didn't this happen during the pre-show?
I have
don't
idea.
know.
No idea. No
Yeah,
idea
it's-
whatsoever.
Yeah. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Pretty much.
Yeah, always seems to come into effect at any time.
Yeah, I don't know. I still hear it. I just don't know where it's coming from. Anyway, let's
I'll
get back.
just mute myself while you talk, and yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right. That'll work. Anyway, let's go back to if you don't. Okay, maybe it's someone else because if he's muted, I'm hearing myself again.
Oh,
I wonder
I think
who
it's
it is.
just you, Ag. I think it's the problem is you because we hear you twice as well. So
I do not hear him
now
twice,
I hear
so it might
myself.
be me.
Who is the person?
Was it doing it while I was powering off my system and repowering it on?
I don't know.
I think it was still doing it.
Yeah, all right. So then
So then
I
it's
did my
gotta
Just
be me.
happened.
It's gotta be me. I don't know.
No, but no. Here's the thing, Promethean. This happened before when it was just Ag and myself, and we couldn't figure it out then either.
So it's like the
And
show's
hear myself
haunted.
now. Could it be Discord?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So, podcast listeners, welcome to Tamriel Test Audio.
I don't know.
Do you wanna drop the entire call and?
No, we can't do that at that point. We'll have to just come back in. I
Oh,
guess.
cameras, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a mess at that
Yeah.
point.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. Anyway, everyone mute up. Everyone mute.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if we all just mute while the other people talk, and
Yeah,
then it
let's-
shouldn't echo?
Let's do that. Beautiful. All right. All right. Now I can actually talk. And guess what? There's no echo. So I guess it can't just be me, Ark, by the way, because everyone muted up. And guess what? There is no echo anymore.
I still blame you. Doesn't change anything.
Anyway, if you don't support us on iTunes or not on iTunes, on Patreon and our Twitch, you can also support us by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter. We had a couple awesome reviews. Let's see here. I'm trying to find them all because those are older ones. I have to go a little closer. Okay. So these were from a little while ago, but I want to read them anyway because they're pretty awesome. One from Mikey Mesh. Says, love the show. I just want to let you guys know that you definitely say real words and they do mean something. I've been playing ESO now since this past December on PS4. Aggelos, I know it's not PC, and I have loved every minute. Listening to you guys and your show have made the experience even better for me as an ESO player, and I would like to thank you for that. I also love the community of ESO as a whole across all platforms, and the things I appreciate the most is how all the different ESO podcasts interact with one another and show nothing but love for one another. ESO podcast fam, there you go. It speaks volumes to the love and appreciation that exists between everyone in the ESO community. Thank you guys for bringing all of us listeners great content each episode. And Ark, please get some sleep, bud, and quit fighting it and just move to the US.
But it doesn't work.
He took it a
I'm
step
not
further
fighting
than I
it.
thought.
I am trying to embrace it with all I have, but it doesn't work.
I tell you. Anyway, number 2. Now, this is the one that I think is totally a fake one and cannot be relied on at all. Heart Lotus. So right off the bat, it's yeah. So this is from Lotus OD Wife. Again,
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder. My husband is the greatest addition, and this is in all caps, by the way, greatest addition to this show ever. Signed, anonymous person who is in no way affiliated with Lotus of Doom.
So my wife made a iTunes account literally just for that.
Sure, it was his wife.
Yep, she decided. It's pretty funny because she does not care about video games whatsoever, but she actually has been super excited for this. So she actually downloaded Sub to us, and she was like, "Oh, well, a 5-star help." I was like, "Those are definitely good." She's like, "Oh, right one." She's like, "How do I make it so that you know it's my review when you guys read it out?" I was like, "Oh," so she typed that. She's like, "Look, I did a thing." I was like, "That's not malicious at all."
Yeah, no, we do appreciate it anyway. That's pretty awesome. Still, really cool. Thank you, Lotus OD Wife. You are awesome. So we definitely know who it is. Ikasugami. A must-have for ESO players, not a 5-star review. This is a real podcast where they say real words and the words matter. I've been listening for about a year and a half now and just finally remembered to review it here. This is the only ESO podcast I need as they cover everything and do it quite entertainingly, even audio problems. A big
we
thanks.
cover technical difficulties.
Yeah.
The only kind.
The only kind. A big thanks to Aggelos and Arkhaniir for putting in the time and effort so that people like me who don't get much time to play can stay up to date on the goings-on, learn new things about the game, and enjoy a bit of living vicariously. Now, of course, that is now Lotus of Doom and Promethean as well in that.
Yep.
And finally, Disturbed Vet, who's been interacting with us on Twitter, so thank you so much. I don't play ESO. I listened to this on recommendation from Lotus. Again, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're always talking about, but it's still interesting. I regret nothing. And poor Ark, by the way, to bring it all back in the end.
Yeah, he jumped on with the toilet episode.
Oh man!
My buddy Vet, he's actually one of the groomsmen from my wedding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he does not play ESO, but he's been pretty entertained by the show. So
Well, here's the only thing that you need to know, Wet. Just don't listen to Ag. Consider everything he's telling you as lies. And you don't have to know anything about Elder Scrolls Online about the rest. Just know that Ag lies. We tell the truth. That's about it.
This
a
coming
decent
from the
amount
guy who swims in toilate water. So.
yeah, I was gonna say, and a decent amount of toilet jokes mixed in.
And is extremely convinced it's not toilet water.
Guys, it's not. People keep throwing Snickers in it. I don't know what's going on.
It had fish in it. What kind of toilet has fish in it?
Leftover sushi.
So, unfortunately, my dad, when I was a kid, flushed a fish on me as like punishment. So some toilets do have fish in them.
This is not going well.
No.
Yeah, sorry, Ark. You're never gonna live this one down.
Oh,
No.
that was.
Oh man, would you look at that? I'm so sleepy. I think I'll just, for the
He's
rest
trying
of
to
the
get
show.
away.
Yeah, it's 6 a.m. I'll just sleep.
Yeah.
It was a pool.
If you could say that all you want, all right, all you want. It was not a pool. Anyway, all right, guys, let's go ahead and actually start the show. I mean,
Yep.
that would
What's
probably
27 minutes amongst friends?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been longer since we talked about the pre-show stuff as well. So, I mean,
Right.
even that could have
You know
just
what we should do?
if we would have recorded that part, that would have been our podcast. Like because we
Yeah,
would have been at an hour.
That's
No.
what we should do from now on. Basically, do the show while pre-show, not streaming, and then just do the show as a post-show, and then don't actually release the podcast version at all. So it's something like that.
I think Ark is delirious from lack of sleep.
There's something wrong.
I think we are now only a Twitch stream.
Well, we're something all right, but I don't know. Let's not go into that one. Guys, let's go ahead and talk about what we've been doing in the Elder Scrolls Online. And you know what? I'm actually going to go first just because I haven't been here. And the last week I cut the show short because we'd already been running for a while. And I said, hey, I'm not going to do my Tales. I'll do it next week. And then I didn't show up. So I get to talk about Tales. It's like 3 weeks old. So, yay. So let's see. What do I have here? Oh, okay. So I got some crowns. That's what I'm saying I have here. And I got the collector's edition of Wolf Hunter. So that means I got the both the mount and the pet. And I will say this. If you're looking to get both items from when they release dungeon DLCs, look for the collector's edition. It's often cheaper than buying each one piecemeal. And then you also get like 5 scrolls and then the content even if you unsubscribe. I've been doing that because then I get the DLC even though I'm always ESO Plus. But when you do that, it's normally cheaper than buying the mount and the pet by themselves. Like this mount and pet, I think came out to something like 4,500 crowns if you got them one at a time, because I think the mount was 3,000 and the pet was like 2,000 or something like that. Maybe I'm slightly off, but the entire collector's edition DLC was only 4,000. You got the DLC, the mount, the pet, and 5 experience scrolls.
Oh yeah, that's a way better deal.
I've done that from the start.
Yeah,
and I wasn't subbed for a while, so that was the only way I bought my DLC. So I will always do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna get the mount and the pet anyway, it's just so much better of a deal. It's essentially both DLCs for free, more or less, because if you're going to buy them anyway, and then also 5 scrolls. Definitely always pick up the collector's edition of the dungeon DLCs when they come out, because it really is a good deal, even if you are ESO Plus.
Or even the story ones. I mean, they typically give a mount and a pet with that as well, and I think you get scrolls also and all the story content with it. So.
Yes, they do the same thing there. Yes, they do. So yeah, no, I got that because again, even the mount and the I didn't really care for the dog that much. I don't know why. I didn't care for the dog, but the mount was really cool and I wanted it. So yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm happy with that one. But I also got the fawn Echelette pet because I think those are cute. I like them. The prong-eared Grimkin. That cat is awesome. It has 4 ears.
Oh, I saw that thing.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Now I need to open Crown Store and actually see if it's still there.
I don't think it's there anymore, unfortunately.
Well, as soon as I load into this Red Temple Catacombs, I'll bring it out on my character. So if you're watching the stream, you'll be able to see it.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I also got the Mole Keno weapon set. So
the weapons for the monster sets look super cool.
They do, and I know this is actually something that I tend to have a problem with other games. I like realistic looking weapons more so than fantasy, but even the monster ones, while they're clearly fantasy, they're realistic enough where you're like, okay, you can suspend belief long enough to go, I could see how that would work. You know,
I mean, at least even the fantasy weapons in Elder Scrolls Online looks like they have a sensible weight distribution.
Yes.
Yeah, they're enchanted as opposed to just like this is made of magical lights and whatever.
Yes.
It's like, okay, this is a real weapon that's imbued with a bunch of other stuff on it.
Right. And you could look at it and go, I could see using that. It might be a little clunky, but I could actually see using it. And I grabbed the wrong thing altogether. This cat is just persistent.
I'm going to start tallying how many times you have to move it.
I like the little Khajiit tail that just goes by as like a time marker.
Yeah. We're not going to separate the podcast out anymore by segments. It's going to be by how many times she walks by. So every time her tail goes by, that's the clock saying it's time for a new segment. So, and there she goes again. Seriously.
Yep.
Tails are over. On to the next part.
I know. I'm actually just trying to find this. Oh, there it is. The prong-eared Grimmelkin. Come here. Come here. Get over here, you cat. Look at its ears. It's got 4 ears.
Wait, which character is this, Ag?
This is my Dunmer Dragon Knight. And tails are over because there she is again.
Damn it, we're switching segments so fast I can't keep up.
I'm telling you.
Control that, Khajiit.
It does have 4 ears.
It does have 4 ears. It's cute because if you look at it from here, it's got 4 ears. I like it. I actually got that. So I was working.
That's
Khajiit. No is no. I'm Ebonheart Pack. Get away from me. There we go. Anyway, so let's see. Working on master writs. I have a crud of them. I think on my main character, I have like 57 master writs still to finish. Well, the thing is, this has been 3 weeks since I had actually cleared out all but like 5, and now I'm back up to like 37.
So, quick question for you: do you have any jewelry ones, and are they god awful to try to do?
They're all very hard to do, and I have like 20 of them.
See, I've gotten 3 jewelry crafting writs, and I'm like, oh, sweet. I know everything. At this point, I finished that. I'm a grandmaster. Like, I totally got this, and I looked at them, and the value was like 268 vouchers, 395 vouchers. Like, these things are insane. And then I looked at what it required to make them. I'm like, nope, I got to try to sell these, and nobody wants them because nobody can make them.
It's the chromium.
It's the chromium grains. They're outrageous.
Yeah. It's actually not even that. I don't even have enough materials to get it up to where it's supposed to be. You know, like even if it's an epic level ring, I don't have enough to upgrade it that way.
I'm just able to barely make one purple like piece at this point, and that's like the best I got.
Yeah, I don't think I even have enough.
It still wants 8 chromium plating, right? Not grains.
It's 4
plating.
Actually.
4,
it's 4.
Right.
Yeah,
that's still 40 chromium grains.
Exactly.
If you can find them by 7k a piece, which is low on European
that's a steal.
At least. Yeah. So that's
if you can get them at 7k, buy them now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Buy them, then don't do your master writ and sell them for much more than that.
Yes.
Yeah, so my jewelry crafting.
What I'm planning to do is just hold on to those jewelry crafting writs, and maybe if one day the chromium grain prices drops, then I might do them.
Yeah.
It will eventually as people start getting a bunch, but the problem is people aren't getting a bunch of it because it's really hard to come by.
They're still super rare.
Well, so much of it came very early on. You could get them from crud. What am I trying to think about? The Daily Mail. That's how people started getting all the legendary stuff and how those started going down because people got them every day in the mail, and eventually you build up enough that it's like, yeah, I don't need them. Jewelry crafting doesn't have a mail delivery person.
Yep.
Daily writs.
If you do jewelry surveys and then refine all those dust, that's how I generally get them and then sell them.
Yeah. Right, but at the moment it's just
you gotta
all
be lucky,
RNG.
basically.
Yeah, it's just all RNG. You're flipping a coin whether you're getting anything or not. So
I wouldn't expect them to drop in price. Like, yeah, they'll drop in price, but don't expect them to ever be cheap. Because they're not going to be.
Yeah.
There's no way. No way.
All right, I was just curious if you had gotten a bunch of those too, because man, they are taunting with how much they're worth. And then it's just like, oh God, nope, can't do that.
Yeah, I know. I want to do them. It's just, and they keep piling up because I don't get rid of them. What are you gonna do? Try to sell them? No one else wants to buy them.
I know nobody else wants them.
So then you're gonna go, do I delete it? Am I really gonna delete something that's worth 300 writ vouchers?
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're still gonna do anyway. That's kind of where I'm at there. I have this mark that I got the Fire Lord's Grieve motif from Daily Battleground. I've been doing Daily Battleground almost every day, and I've been getting a lot of motif stuff. And actually, I'm trying to. I got a bunch of it. I almost have all of the entire set finished for the 3 different, groups. Because they have their own motifs you can get. I also got a few of the Horned Dragon set as well from the PvP. Like that's why I've been doing it, to get the motif pages. So
Is the Horn Dragon the Fire Drake one?
I think Horn Dragon's by
it's
itself.
Oh, is it?
one.
It's a different one entirely. Because that
Yeah.
I just know the Fire looks really cool.
Let me pull it up here under outfit styles, because the one I got here was I got a two-handed sword, the two-handed divine prosecution. No, that's not it. Nope, Morg Tong. Where is it? Crud. Now it's really gonna bother me because I cannot find it on this list, because I looked at it earlier.
It's funny trying to sift through all of them now too.
Horn Dragon. There it is.
Just
Horn
on
Dragon. Okay, so it is.
Show locked.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. You
Nope,
found
I
it.
got it. And then, of course, under the armor, if I go all the way down, they have the bottom. I got the Stormlord helmet. I still need the Fire Drake and the Pit Demon, but I definitely did get the Stormlord helmet. I got 2 of the 3 chests so far. I got 2 of the 3 greaves so far. 2 of the 3 shoulders so far.
Damn, you really are cleaning up with these.
1 of the 2 boots, or of the 3 boots. All 3 of the hands, and 1 of the belt. So I'm really putting together those sets from PvP. So I've been having a lot of fun with the daily battleground.
I just wish I could sell them
Well,
because I don't like them.
Well, you only get them one time. Once you get them, you'll learn them, and then you'll never get it again.
I actually really
Yeah,
like
but
that
I
they
would-
do that where you don't get the duplicates.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is a really nice.
And
I would
little
like to get
bonus.
duplicates and sell them.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, true, but
See, I'm
I
kind
just
of
wanna sell
against that
things.
because this set is 100% a prestige set. If you saw somebody running around with that, you go, "Wow, they must do a lot of battlegrounds."
yeah, that's somebody to probably be like aware that they're
Is
not
it
going to
though?
go in and wonder if they've ever played a battleground.
Right.
Yeah, but is it? It's not that difficult to
It's
gather.
not, but it still requires you to actually do battlegrounds, and it's not a guarantee that you'll get one. It favors you winning. If
Right.
you lose,
Yeah.
you're likely not getting those pieces.
Even second, I know. Doesn't it go up each tier of like if you're in second, you have a decent, like an okay chance of getting it, and if you win, it's like okay, you have a pretty legit chance of getting it.
Actually,
Yeah.
not sure. I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, no, that's
But it would
exactly
make
what it
sense if
is.
it's that way. Yeah.
So yeah, someone can really suck at battlegrounds and have it, but it's going to take them way longer than somebody who
Yeah. I
you know
suppose
has
you're
been
right.
winning. So yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that. Almost every day I log on and do the daily battleground as long as I have time. So PvPing a lot lately, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. I got the legendary Sijic recipe from fishing, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Which one is that?
it's
I mean, what is-
what is it? It's the Sijic. It's the waterlogged Sijic recipe, but it makes something else now. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it
what it's
becomes
called.
something.
Yeah, but it's the best stamina food in the game. Like, yeah,
Okay.
but it's expensive as all get out to make. Let's see. Oh, I got Blessed Crucible Assassin and Coronation by Fire for Vet Blessed Crucible, because apparently I haven't done Vet Blessed Crucible since the expand or the
They added in the things.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, because I used to do it a lot, but if you weren't doing it when the achievements came out for all of those, then yeah,
Right.
I didn't get them.
I feel like some of those dungeons that just don't get mixed into the rotation.
They don't go
No,
into
I don't
roulette
really
that
know.
often.
Yeah.
Blessed
Yeah.
Crucible, I just don't see them at all.
Yeah, Blessed Crucible was kind of rare. Halls of
Tempest Island,
Madness,
for example.
Tempest Island, yeah.
I just don't. I don't remember when's the last time I saw them as a pledge.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, Tempest has started to show up now, I noticed. But yeah, originally, I actually liked that dungeon for like one of the originals. And I was always wondering, like, never see this one. And now every now and then, when we actually do pledges or whatever, it'll show up, and I was like, oh, Tempest Island, nice. But at this point, you know, I've done it 50 times. So I'm like, okay, well, some of the mystique is dead because you know.
Yeah.
She's going to push me with wind and irritate me a lot at the end of the fight. I get it.
Yeah.
And then finally, I have one here that I ran pledges with Bree, and she set herself as a healer when she wants to go as DPS. So we essentially had 3 DPS. It was so funny. We were doing this dungeon, and it happened to be what was it? We were doing a dungeon, ran some pledges. She thought she set herself as a DPS. She set herself as a healer. We ran in, and we're starting to attack these things, and we're dying. Like, well, I was able to keep myself alive. I killed everything, but she's like, screw it. Let's vote kick this healer. Because they, you know, and I was the group leader. I'm like, fine, they're not healing. I agree with you. Until I looked at the group menu, I said, Bree, you set yourself as a healer. It's like,
that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
He's probably sitting there cursing you out, going, why isn't she healing? Yeah. But we actually were like, you know what? Screw it. Let's try it as a tank and 3 DPS. We'll just have to be careful. We actually did it. So, because I had vigor.
It's the wave of the future.
Yeah. If you have vigor, and as long as another stamina has vigor, if you got 2 vigors running, you're fairly decent. Our tank had vigor. I had vigor. You
throw a couple of shields up, and you just soak damage and then put the little progressive vigor heal on people, and they can manage pretty well through most everything.
As long as they're not stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if you face plant into everything, I can't keep people up. I'm not that good.
I mean, every class comes with some sort of powerful self-heal, so
but not everyone uses it.
That is very true.
If you're in a no-healer situation, then it's a good idea to sacrifice maybe one skill in favor of that self-healing.
It's a very specific play style if you're going to do that. Like, it doesn't run like normal mechanics of a dungeon. You've got to like go in with the mindset, like thinking you've got a healer, and then being like, everything's fine. That's not really how that's going to work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's pretty much been my tales. I know I kind of went through it rapidly, but we've already been going for a while, and we haven't really even got anywhere yet. So we have a lot to talk about. So that was my tales. Let's go ahead and move on to Ark.
Right. So what I basically did the entire week is spent all my gold in decorating Hunter's Glade.
Well, really, it was a good thing that you got that 100K gold. Oh.
Ouch. Wow.
Burn.
How?
Login bonus burn.
I know that was that.
Here's the thing.
That was a cool one.
That was.
My brain isn't functioning at a capacity to like generate comebacks at this point, so I just have to take these punches and like be okay with it.
I was gonna say you can tweet a response in 3 to 5 more hours after some rest.
I'll give you a stay of execution, Ark, and I will accept comebacks for the next 8 hours. So go get some rest.
I'll be sleeping hopefully in the next. I'm not gonna wake up in 8 hours. No, that's not gonna happen.
No, there has to be some statute of liability here and limitation. So
you have 3 to 5 business days to work it out.
3 to 5. Feel free to write it all down and come back next week, and we'll go from there.
Oh man! But yeah, decorating Hunter's Glade. I was going for, so I basically didn't do anything in the cave area at the beginning, and I just decorated the forest. Now, my main issue with most games is that they design it so that you don't get lost. And in an MMORPG's case, the forest, at least in Elder Scrolls Online, the forest is... none of the forests in the game are dense enough to actually feel like a forest.
Can I say one thing?
Performance perspective, yeah.
There is one, and it's during the main storyline quest, if I remember correctly. You actually go into sort of this little instance in Falkreath. Do you remember that?
No.
I think I know what
It's
you're
Valkyrie
talking
Is it
about.
are
the
the-
actual main quest?
It's actual main quest because I remember doing
It's
it
been 4
years ago, and I
Yeah,
went,
I know.
"Wow, this actually feels like a forest."
Yeah, because
not-
don't you have to try to just go through it, and you get like the weird lighting, and there's just like a ton of trees in that area. If this is the same thing that I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
I
You're
honestly
trying to
do
find
not have
someone. I
memory.
think you're trying to find Lyris's sister or family member or. No, wait, no, I am wrong. It was a Dark Brotherhood quest because it was the werewolf. You had to find the
Oh, okay,
werewolf
hold up.
girl.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
who
I
it was.
remember
Yeah, I was like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
For yeah. I think it's Dark.
But
because I
here's
do
the
remember
problem with that
forest
one.
thing.
Here's the problem with that one. It's almost linearly designed. You can follow not a straight path, but it's linear. It's not. Yeah, Hilda, as Ishabu said. Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even in that though, it's still not dense enough. There are a lot of trees, but they're not placed in a way that it blocks your vision 5 meters in front of you. Now, that is what I was trying to get in Hunter's Glade. Basically, if you're not in a party with someone and they are just 10 meters away from you, you might completely lose sight with them. That's what I was going for. And at about, let me see how many I have. Browse. Right, so I have 447 conservatory items, 128 of which are saplings, and then the rest are trees and giant trees and some shrubs in between there.
That's awesome.
And now you can actually, like run away from someone for like a few seconds and make a sharp turn, and it is possible that they won't find you. In addition to this, I added some points of interest, hidden points actually. If you're on European mega server, you can just visit this place and try to find them. They are obviously, I mean, it's an enclosed space. You find them eventually, but I think I did a good job at hiding some of them. Some are just very obvious, which is my trophy area, which is huge stones in the middle, so it's very hard to miss. But I have a little encampment area, a little campfire area. It's pretty well hidden. A shrine to her scene.
Have you
And
showed
then
this on stream? This actually sounds really cool.
No. I
You
don't wanna
should,
show
so
it
I
on-
can.
I-
Oh man, 'cause I was
yes, I
gonna
want to
say-
see.
Yeah, because I won't be able to actually experience that since I'm not on PC or Europe. So I really
that makes
got
sense.
0 going for me here.
Right. That makes sense. I probably should. Yeah, I will. I was thinking if I could during this show like switch to EU, but he mentioned like he let us know that he did not do his Summerfall achievement on European mega servers, so he doesn't have a character there.
Yep.
They're slacking off.
Yep. No.
There.
Look, 50% of the
entire
people
community
in
was
this podcast definitely made an EU character, and 50% didn't.
I thought it was more like 75%.
Well, I think just me and you are the only two that didn't go
Yeah,
Europe
you-
side.
I actually
You
had
just
a
lazy.
EU tune from the beginning because when the game came out, the North American servers were like shut down. There was no getting into it. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to go on to EU. So I had like a level 15 tune.
Okay.
See, some people do their jobs, some people contribute, and then we have sexplars who don't do anything, just like in dungeons, and still claim credit. But it is what it is.
At least I got the 100K gold.
And to be fair, we all got a house, so I think how I did it worked.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I still got the house, which I still haven't went to yet. I mean,
I know, I've looked at everybody else's, I haven't gone in my own.
actually,
It is
yeah.
large.
Let's see.
It's just massive. I just use this as a storage for my furnishing now. It's just better that way.
Grand
I tried
Cichicula.
covering it with planks because it's an Altmeri structure and I don't like it, but it
That
takes up
picture was
so much
hilarious.
It's-
That was
it's very
so
difficult to-
funny.
Yeah.
So I'm like assuming you guys follow ESO on Twitter, and I don't know if you saw it today, but they retweeted or like someone sent them pictures of their like there's this big entry hall and they created it to look like the Hogwarts Great Hall at like
Oh,
Feast.
I saw that.
Oh, it is
Oh, I
so
didn't.
cool. It looks like you're watching the movie. It is amazing.
That's pretty cool. I didn't see that. I did see the one, the Japanese. I think it was the Japanese clan, where they actually went up on the walls of the place, and everybody got on their mount, like the entire guild, and they did like a wave with all of the mounts like whinnying it like down the line,
that's cool.
because everybody had the exact same mount. It actually looked really cool.
I should try to find that. I mean, on Twitter, those, like, I don't know if it's the same account, same people, because I used to be able to, but I can't read Japanese anymore, so I can't see if it's a different account or anything, but I always see some very amazing stuff from them. I assume they are the same people, but yeah, I don't know for sure, but they really do amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The housing and other stuff. Did you see like the basketball court that they did?
I
with
saw that
skeletons
one.
actually looking like playing basketball. It's
Yeah,
just,
they're very
creative.
artistic. Very artistic.
Yeah. I wish I could give a shout out, but again, I would have to remember.
See, this is why I don't
read
decorate
first.
any of my houses, because I'll spend like hours and I'll try to decorate, and I'll like, yes, look at that masterfully placed chair, and then these people are doing all this. I'm like, screw it.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna tip my chair over. Fine.
Yeah, kick my chair over. Now it's not even straight anymore.
I'll flip this table.
Yeah, no.
Right. So I'll just finish the rest of it because we still have news as well. So
Yeah.
I also have a witch's trap-ish sort of thing. It's fancy, and then in addition to all these little points of interest spread and hidden around the map, I also have a restaurant, or not a restaurant, but an inn. Now it's the entrance to it is very well hidden. Seeing it also is not easy because I really worked on making it not easily visible. Although if you follow my Twitter, you saw pictures of it most likely, because I couldn't help myself and shared them and kind of mess up the whole secret. But it's a 2-story-ish, place, and the idea is that you might not want to always be a werewolf in this forest, right? Sometimes you might want to, hunt and then go grab a drink, maybe rest up, go back as a werewolf, or just be a normal hunter, a human or whatever hunter that still values the value of hunt. So you might be here risking your life hunting, and then you might actually want to stay at a place, have a drink, chat up with other hunters and stuff like that. So this is the place you go to, the Hunter's Rest. It's a beautiful place, completely built from planks and other stuff on a rock. So yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see this place. This sounds very cool.
Well, yeah.
This sounds very cool.
This is why you'll never make it to Sovngarde, Mr. Werewolf.
Right?
I mean, Kodlak Whitemane cured himself before he passed and made it to Sovngarde, so I don't see why I shouldn't be able to do the same while enjoying the hunt as I'm alive. As long as I don't die unexpectedly, I should be fine.
Yeah, but you're on your warden, so from what I heard last episode, that
No, I'm
didn't
not
go so
on my
well.
dragon.
No, the
Warden is
warden's-
gone.
the warden's
Don't
been
talk about the
condemned.
warden.
We don't talk about the warden. He's dead.
busy
Tim.
It never happened. That
He's
wasn't me. That
blacksmithing
was
for the
my
real
that was my noob to win.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
He also swam in the toilet. I didn't.
He's the one who did it. Fair enough. All right.
But yeah, that's about the end of my tales.
All right. Let's go move on to Lotus of Doom.
Mine should be pretty quick and straightforward because I played a little ESO, but nothing that much of note overall. I actually, because I have a tendency to do this each year, is for some reason when fall/winter starts rolling around and I live in New England, I get the desire to play Skyrim again because it looks like pretty much where I live. It's either the Rift is where it currently looks like, and then I just move north. So it always kind of makes me in the mood to like play Skyrim again. And I realized that I haven't got 100% completion on the PS4 version because I haven't played this game enough apparently after all these years. So I figured might as well start trying to get that platinum trophy on another system that I don't already have it on. So fired up a new one, and I did some random leveling and trying to make myself a base of operations to like have money for stuff at the start. None of that's super interesting because I make it really grindy usually while I watch football, just to kind of power level a bit with blocking, mercantile, junk like that. But the only two things of note that I kind of learned from jumping back into it is, man, it is a different experience being like alone in the wilderness as opposed to ESO, where you can see other people. Whereas in Skyrim, you can just have stretches of nothingness and like there's just leaves falling or there's snow blowing around and you're just listening to the sweet music in the game and you're just picking up flowers and rocks and smacking bats and stuff. And it's very, very like it's a different. Like they're very similar to each other. They really feel like they're in the same universe, but they have a very different feel. So going to the single player ones is definitely something I like doing from time to time. The only real quests of note that I thought was even remotely interesting was Boethiah's Proving Ground. It's the one where you kind of stumble into the cult who all is super aggressive and you can sacrifice somebody. It's the weird mechanic where you have somebody that's a follower go over and touch a pillar and it pins them to him and you sacrifice them. And it's like the only time in the game you ever use it ever. So I grabbed some random scrub Khajiit and sent him over to the thing. I forget who I sacrificed, killed him. And that was when I learned, like, that was my goal. I was like, oh, I'm going to do, because there's a trophy for getting the Daedric artifacts. So I was like, I'm going to start doing that along the way. So that was my goal. I was like, I just got to do Boethiah's Proving. And I think 9.5 hours later, I realized that I still wasn't at the camp. I didn't remember what I was doing, but I was selling some trash in Riften, and a dragon flew into the middle of town while I was, dealing with that. So I was like, oh, that's probably not good because I don't want to lose any important NPCs. So I figured, okay, I suck at archery. I was going with the two-handed build this time. I was like, all right, I got to lure this thing down so I can even hit it because I can't shoot. And I don't remember the guards in Riften being quite so hardcore. This thing landed on one roof. It got about 67 arrows in its face, and it just face planted. Like, they obliterated this dragon. I was like, what the hell just happened? And as it falls over, because I'm all excited, I was like, sweet, free soul. Like, it falls, and it lands on a quest giver, crushing and killing him.
Oh.
He's a side quest person, but I forget it's a red guard who deals with Sapphire from the Thieves Guild. There's like a side quest where you can work with the two of them. The dragon lands on him and just smashes this dude. And I was like, well, that's different. I've never seen that before. And then I noticed he kind of tumbled off the bridge into the moat. I'm like, oh, he's not getting up. All right, so that quest is done. I guess this is where that ends. And that was about the time when I was like, oh, well, okay, that's not an important quest. And I was like, what the hell am I doing in Riften? Like, what was I doing? So I tried looking back through, and I was like, man, I've been playing this for so long. I thought I was just trying to do a quest, and I noticed I picked up, like, I think it was 62 quests at that point, like, along the way. And I was like, oh, right, this started with Boethiah's Proving, like, 9 hours ago, and I haven't even done that. So the one thing I, like, after going back to it, because I hadn't played Skyrim in a while, man, it is hard to keep on track in that game. I have some focus in ESO. Holy crap, I have no focus in those games, like, at all. Yeah. Because the goal was, for those who haven't done it, she sends you out to get her armor back from her old corrupt champion. And one of the keys is do it in her name, so you have to do it silently, which stealth is not my thing. So I tried to do it stealthily, and I even found this sweet bow and arrow with paralysis on it. And I was like, well, great, even better. So I missed my first shot right out the gate. Everybody immediately knows my sledgehammer cleave through everybody, in which case she's super upset because she's like, you took all the glory, you're a jerk. I'm going to give you my thing anyways, but you're lousy at stealth, and she berates me for a little bit. Like, yep, okay, so we're back in Skyrim, and I still haven't learned to stealth after... When did that game come out? 11/11/11, so what's 7 years of practice, and I still can't stealth at all.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though. What she did basically brought a follower to sacrifice the Boethia so you can complete the, the task she bestows upon you to get the artifact. And then instead, you sacrificed the follower and then just went on to Riften to sell stuff.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is apparently I'm just a That's not that could have actually probably consolidated that story. I murder people, take their money, and then go sell it at the black market. So here we go.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so my adventures in Skyrim, I'm still a murderer.
Indeed. And thank you for the follow, False Night Saw. I saw that come in earlier, but, we're in the middle of the story. Let us go to Promethean and find out what he's been up to.
So I've had like a crazy IRL week. It's been madness. So I haven't been in game much. I stopped in on like Tuesday night, maybe, whenever the Murkmire prologue quest came out. I was in game and I spent 2.5 hours doing it and literally soaking up all of it because I love Argonians and I'm so excited for Murkmire. Like, who knows? I just love them. And then I did some of the dailies for that. I guess dailies is kind of misleading because you can do like a bunch every day, which is really nice. So getting to that 150 and getting that title is going to be pretty, well, it's still going to be time consuming, but it won't be as bad as I thought it was going to be. It won't take half a year. If I'm good about it, it won't take half a year. And then last night for Lore Seekers, we ran Tempest Island as hard mode night, which was fun. But that's really been it. Real life has been absolutely madness this past week, so have not been in game as much as I would have liked.
Hey, that always happens.
Every now and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
That's still more gameplay than when I'm completely free and still don't play sometimes. So
Yeah.
Still don't achieve anything.
Yeah, I was probably on for maybe like 6 hours over the course of a week, and I typically knock that out on a Saturday. I'm like, Saturday? Homework? What's that? Let's ESO all day.
That's the adequate response. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a little bit of news, so we're going to pass that over to Ark on the news desk.
Right, so the details to acquire our first in-game achievable, except the ones you can buy from Stable Master for like 10k gold, which I'm not counting, but actually have to work for. The first in-game achievable mount, and it's a great one, has been announced. And so this is the Indrik mount. If you haven't played Somerset expansion yet, you may miss this one. But if you did, this is basically the famous LSD deer. Because it teleports around, casts all kinds of elements. It has all these feathers and it's a very, very fancy deer-looking thing. I'm actually not sure what this is. It's an animal.
It's really cool looking, whatever the hell it is.
It is awesome.
Yeah. So, and now we'll be able to get this beast as a mount. Now, what we need to do is do events. These are not unknown events to us. These are all the events that we've been already doing all this time, like Witches Festival, DLC celebration events, and New Life Festival, things like that. And here's how you do it on a summary. So every event, you'll be getting event tickets for the daily activities that you do. You get 1 ticket per activity, per account, per day. Actually, let me read this properly. You can earn event tickets from 1 activity per account per day. There you go. So you can't just farm these non-stop all day long at a single day. You have to do continuously, much like, daily rewards and things like that. So once you collect 10 event tickets from an event, you'll be able to buy the Indrik feather. And you need 4 of these. So you need to participate in 4 events. Or if you miss an event, they're allowing you to buy the feather for the previous event. So let's say you didn't make it in Witches Festival event, but you farmed all day, every day during the Clockwork City celebration and get enough tickets to cover for the missing ones, and you can still buy the feather for Witches Festival. But since these events have limited time, you really need to pay attention to getting these.
Or you're waiting till next year.
Yeah, exactly.
In that sense, they also released all 4 upcoming event dates, which is something they haven't done before. Mm-hmm. But now we know the actual details, like date details of the events in front of us. The first one is Witches Festival, which we are going to talk about in a second, because it's starting this Thursday on October 18th. And this will run until November 1. So you have a chance to get, how much? 12 tickets from this one, for example. The next event will be Clockwork City Celebration event, going from November 15 to November 26. After that comes Undaunted Celebration event, November 29 to December 5, which is a short one, as you can see. So you'll be able to, you gotta log in every day, so you get enough tickets to buy the feather or make up with the tickets you get from the other ones. And then the New Life Festival will be December 13th to January 2nd. So don't schedule anything to those dates. Stay on your computer.
Yep.
Be available to log in for those event tickets and get them. Now the thing is, you can only carry 12 event tickets at a time. So
you have to buy a feather. So you buy the feather and then you keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're preventing you from just stacking the deck right out the gate and being like, all right, I'm just going to show up for the others and immediately buy it.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll be able to get most of the way. Now, we talked about this a little bit pre-show, and I kind of wanted to talk about this. I know that was a lot of my major complaint about the Crown Store and whatnot, because I'm still not fond of it. But I come from an old school MMO type gamer where games were sub-based and everything was just available to earn as some sort of achievement. So when you saw someone running around on a mount or whatever, it was something it's like, wow, check out that person. They did some great feat. I will say they finally have a mount in-game, and it's actually a very cool way to actually earn it.
Right.
We were talking about this prior, and I said how World of Warcraft had an event called What a Long Strange Trip It's Been, which actually required you to finish every holiday event meta achievement, and some of them were fairly difficult. And if you finished every single one in a year, you got a special mount, the Purple Proto Drake. I will say the one year that we were working on that, I made sure I was at every single holiday to finish that meta, because if you missed for a certain event, you had to wait an entire year for it to cycle back around in order to do, the event. So this is a really cool event, and I'm actually really excited to see it done.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I read... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I thought I read, too, that you can, further kind of customize it, getting, these berries from someone somewhere. And I thought that was in the original article they announced about getting the Indrik, but I also could totally be making this up. It actually, you know what, I think it was in the patch notes for Update 19, or this upcoming update. I think I might have read that.
I feel like I've seen that, too. I just can't remember where I saw it.
Also could be losing my mind.
No, there was something like that. It just sounds so familiar, but
The fact that all of us have heard that makes me...
Yeah, that seems like group insanity is less unlikely. So.
It does.
Not with this cast.
Actually, is it?
Well, all right, yeah,
less
that's true.
unlikely?
Okay, yeah, we did have a podcast about how like the swamps are just a toilet and stuff. So, all right, touche.
Oh, man.
I mean, take that with a grain of salt, anything we say at this point, because it could go either way.
But yeah, it's a very cool idea just in general for the whole mount thing. And if you customize it too, that'd be really insane. Like the level of detail to it.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I'm looking at these dates, and so you basically need 40 event tickets. So you gotta be doing stuff for 40 separate days.
You've
got a window to work with.
Very little window.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the login thing. You get a couple leeway things, which I like. It's like, okay, don't expect people to dedicate everything, but they don't. Like they give you a little wiggle room, and I mean, a lot of people just don't pay enough attention to do it or whatever. But it's like it's nice that they account for you having things to do in real life, but also like, hey, if you want this, you've got to dedicate some time to this.
I think a couple of the events give you like 2 tickets or 3 tickets compared to just like 1. So that's kind of like a little squishy room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that part. So
I think Clockwork gives you 2 event tickets and Undaunted gives you 3. And the New Life and Witches Festival are 1, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's
because they're also a lot shorter too. The 2 that are shorter,
it's written in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're getting 3 or 4.
Then the wiggle room is actually huge. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they give you like especially because if you spend 10 during the event, but then continue to do that event, you're basically, the way I see it, at least. I mean, math isn't my strongest point here, but like if you really like want to grind a couple of the events, you can pretty much account for, okay, I did 3 of the events, I'm good to go as long as you space it out properly. You can almost like
also,
miss an event.
This was, I think it was Ikasugami who asked this in our Discord. Like, what happens if you don't have Clockwork City DLC?
You can't do
the Clockwork City celebration event.
You can't do it.
Then it's.
I think you can still get the feather, though.
You can still get the feather, but it's going to rely on, because the tickets aren't. The tickets are agnostic of an event. It's just an event ticket.
Right. That's what it is. Okay, because I was going to say, I know this. Like one of the big draws to this is because some of the mounts or pets we've gotten, it's been like, oh, you got this DLC, and when you traveled there, as a result, you got this thing.
Yeah.
This one is just completely like, no, anyone can get this, even if you have just vanilla. This is yours if you put in the time for it.
Yeah.
Well, because the Undaunted, that's the only one you can.
Right, the Undaunted. Yeah, exactly. It'd be like the Undaunted thing. It's like, okay, well, I did a pledge. Like, there we go. There's my dungeon.
I think it's possible. I'd have to do the math because I'd have to look at the dates and say you did it. If you don't have the DLC for Clockwork, you better sign in every day and do it because that's gonna be tight.
You're shooting yourself in the foot a little. The other thing that I'm curious on is they tend to do. They haven't done one in a little while, so it more so lends credence to the fact that I think they might be at some point. They really, what with their vastly improved marketing department, they do those little, hey, do you want to try ESO Plus weekends? Or, hey, do you want to try ESO Plus for this work week or whatever? And it's just like everybody has ESO Plus. And if you have ESO Plus already, here's some free crown crates.
Yeah.
Which, boom, then you immediately have access to all the DLC during one of those things. I could almost see them doing something like that. Like this weekend, everybody can mess around in Clockwork if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they promote it and somebody gets halfway through the quest and is like, okay, I want to finish the quest. Okay, I'm shelling out the money. I want to buy this expansion or whatever.
Clockwork was actually a really good one anyway, so I would recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But, I like Soth the Sill, so, I mean, yeah. No, but definitely, I'm very excited about this in general, just because like I said, the fact is they've been slowly addressing a lot of my concerns about the store. The only real concern that I even have yet is I really wish crown crates were earnable in game, even as like a 1% drop chance off dolmens or world bosses. Or
sure.
Yeah.
So it could be honestly farmed, but
right.
But I think that would be neat. Like but that would also, I feel like that would make the overworld super active because people would be doing it more often. Because it's like, dude, I kill that world boss. There is a 1% chance I'm getting a crown crate. You know,
exactly. And I mean, to an extent, I mean, but it's not really you're earning anything. But it's like once they started, because again, I'm not a cosmetics guy, as anybody who like knows me knows. Cosmetics aren't really my thing, so like I'm not the market for crown crates or whatever. But like, you know, whatever people want to do, that's fine. But I like people to have options.
Yeah.
And when they started doing the logins, like a couple of my friends were like, yeah, I really don't want to spend as much money on these. Like these are too expensive or whatever. And they started doing the logins thing. They're like, oh, these things are awesome. I just get a bunch of free crates just for logging in. Every one of my like friends are like super diligent about logging in. Like, yeah, hey, whatever. I get 5 free crown crates. It's like, and they get a bunch of gems. Like, well, what am I going to complain about getting something for free? Like, whatever, you know. And then if they get a sweet mount, they prance around in front of me on it because I don't have any.
And some people have problems with the free stuff for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kate actually has a clip which is absolutely amazing, but definitely not suitable for this show. Where she gets angry on it. I mean, I would definitely prefer being able to farm them in the game instead of getting them for free, because it would force me, or not force me, but, you know, motivate me to playing more, doing stuff in the game. But if I'm getting stuff for free, I'm happy. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be better, or more better, just give us the free stuff and make us farm for it in the game. That's just that's the best part.
Again, more options are definitely good in this case. You give people something to do. You give people a reason to log in. Whatever the case, they definitely have been steering in a much more user-friendly direction.
Consumer friendly. I think we should say consumer friendly.
I don't know. With the amount I play this, I could classify myself as a user at this point.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like you said, what they're offering us now is more consumer friendly and more consumer honoring than what they were before.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, it started very business based, and now it's like, okay, they're clearly trying to make money on it, because how else is it going to keep running? I mean, that's how businesses work. But it's like
ESO Plus, because they made it pretty much like, if you don't have ESO Plus, you just...
yeah, tell me about it. Every time mine logs out, it's just like, oh, my craft bag, oh, my space, everything hurts.
I don't think they're hurting for subs in this game. Let's just put it that way.
No, I was going to say that, especially with every time they announce a new chapter and they give you the vague idea of the player counts, and it's just like, oh, my Lord, there are so many people on this game now. Like, the growth of this game has been crazy.
And then when you get the free ESO Plus weekends, people get a taste of the craft bag and the extended bank
craft
slots.
Bag is just
the craft bag, and even some of the ones where they've done the free trials. Free trials,
free trials.
Yes,
guys, let's go do some trials.
That was the trials leader.
They've had like the, you know, console trial and all that stuff. It's kind of funny because like I've known a couple of people who are like, oh, that's the game you play. They'll try it. I'll make them some, you know, here's some XP gear, just so it's like, yeah, you don't have to slog through everything, and it'll make you self heal and stuff. And they do when they play it, and they're like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's kind of like that Skyrim game. I'm like, yes, it's very much like the Skyrim game. I know there's. And it's just like, oh, yeah, how much is it? I was like, you can get the base version for like $10, like, and then you can mess around. And it's like, you're not selling yourself short if it's just the base version. That's like 300 hours of just story content if you're trying to do each of the factions fully through.
And then longer if you actually take the time to listen to everyone and read books.
Exactly. The writing in it is really good. So I enjoy just kind of like vegging out. It's like, oh, I got an hour to kill. I'm just going to do 1 or 2 quests. And I just, okay, that was awesome. So it's like, there's so much to do. And then there's the PvP. You have tons of options, even with just the vanilla game.
Yeah, you do. That's good.
Can you imagine, like, not imagine because we lived through it, but we didn't always had crafting bags.
Oh, yeah, no.
How did we survive?
Mm-hmm.
Now that I look back at it,
inventory management.
Yep. Remember when there were more provisioning materials too? They cut those down. We used to have all the clutter provisioning materials when food was done based on
15 different kinds of grapes.
Yes, it was like the real grapes.
I do remember
those
now.
remain, but then there was just like, oh my lord, it was so much junk.
As Ishibu says in chat, we had alts. Yes, alts. You filled up every single slot you had just to hold stuff. Yes, you did. Are you made a guild that one of your 5 guilds was your bank guild?
Yep. That was actually, we still hold that guild. We have a guild on PS4, and I turned it into a player like helping guild. When I run a dungeon, somebody's like actually wants advice or something, I'll usually send them an invite, or one of my friends is new to the game. And it's just all the crafting crap we have no use for. We just put stacks, like 1 stack of each of the type, so that when they get started, it's like, just grab whatever level it is. Like, that's fine, just do that or whatever. That started because before crafting bags, we were like, well, what the hell do we do with all this? Like, I have no idea what to do with this. So 10 of us made a guild, and we're like, okay, we've got 500 bonus slots. We can just fill this thing with junk, and that's how we'll actually use a crafting bag. And then crafting bags kind of fixed all of those problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I may or may not have convinced a few friends to buy the game that I was sure that they would quit to fill up, to open my guild bank. But it's just speculations. I do not confirm this.
Yeah, so I'm a murderer and you're a thief. Got it.
May have happened. Yeah.
Sounds
they
about
bought
right.
the game willingly. That bit of
I'm a saint.
manipulation.
Total saint over here.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, what else we got on the news docket?
Right, so they also released the details of the Witches Festival event.
Ooh, yes.
For anyone who don't know.
Let's go over that for people who may just be new. I will say the Witches Festival is one of my absolute favorite festivals they have in the game right now. Because I
actually, yeah.
Go ahead. Because they added some new stuff, though. They added new stuff this year.
Yeah. So, the event starts on Thursday, October 18th, and will run until November 1. So this is a Halloween-themed event, obviously, from the name. And the thing that they added is the Dremora Plunder Skulls, which drops a never-before-seen motif. And we'll come to that, how to get it in a bit. But so basically, for anyone who never done this before, once the event starts at October 18, you go into your Crown store, and then you get the free item. It will be glaring free. Like, you will see that item. It will be on featured page, the Crow Collar.
Yes.
You use this item, and it will give you a quest called, well, I don't remember the quest. I think it's Witch Mother's Bargain. Yeah, it is the Witch Mother's Bargain. You complete the quest, which will give you the Witch Mother's Whistle memento. Now, completing these event quests, they are just easy stuff. It's just maybe a couple dialogues and a bit of running around, but you'll get there pretty easily. So with this memento, what you can do is you use this memento and it summons the cauldron, which is glowing with nasty, green witch, whatever, alchemy stuff. And when you use this, you and your party gets 100 100% experience bonus for 2 hours. And that is the main thing that you need to do to start the quest. Or rather start the event. Now actually you don't need to do this to drop the plunder skulls, right? If I'm not mistaken. This is just for experience.
It just starts the thing, gives you your experience, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have done this quest before, you don't have to do it. You will already have the whistle in your mementos, so you can just use that and start getting your experience. Now, the main thing that drops from this event is the plunder skulls. They drop from every boss in the game. It could be a delve boss, it could be a world boss, it could be the dolmen bosses, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Dungeon bosses. Basically, every boss type creature in the game drops a plunder skull. And these plunder skulls have actually there's a list, so I'm just gonna read.
Yep.
Hollowjack motif pages, which is actually a very nice motif. I only use the light helmet, but the rest, if you like glowing stuff. Pieces of the new. Yeah, it is. Pieces of the new apple bobbing cauldron memento. I haven't seen this, so not sure what this is, but
I want it.
Yeah, it will drop in rune boxes that you need to gather 7 to actually get the memento, which I'm 90% sure I'm going to be selling all these because I want money. I want more gold. And then they will drop a rune box for the masks: Pumpkin Spectre Mask, Scarecrow Spectre Mask, Hollowjack Spectre Mask, and Ticketman Spectre Mask. I have the pumpkin one, and it is my favorite mask to use with Nordic Bath Towel because it's just absolutely disturbing. It's good for PvP, just mental warfare. There's the Witches Festival themed recipes, which I think they are now kind of useless considering.
Witch Mother's Brew.
Yeah, Witch Mother's is
still really good.
Is still good.
Still good.
Yeah, the other thing, they added some new achievements to go with this year. There's not just recycled from last year. There's actually new achievements. There's actually and it's unintentionally been live, and they just said have fun with it. No big deal, everybody. Where if you eat every one of the recipes. You eat a piece of each one of the foods, you get an achievement.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, that could be fun to follow, or whatever. You will now, since we have housing and everything, furniture and furniture recipes, Hollowjack and Dremora style materials, bewitching alchemy regions, and an assortment of creepy items. It says I'm not sure what they are. Now, most of this were already, from the last year. What they added this year is the brand new Dremora Plunder Skulls. These will drop from, again, a type of boss each day, just once for the first boss that you killed that day. So, actually,
All right. So let me go ahead and jump on this. What's going to happen here is when we'll go through the list, but each one of these has a guaranteed chance to drop the new Dremora motif, but the different types of bosses drop a different motif page. So what you're going to want to do is each day you're going to want to plan this if you want to get everything. So don't just go into your favorite delve and get your Dremora, because there's a chance that you'll just get one of 2 things again. So each day you're going to have to look at it and go, what is the first thing I'm going to do? It's going to be this, or this to get all the pages. Because if you keep just getting the same one, like I'm going in and getting the delves, you're guaranteed to get one each and every day, but you're not going to get a new one. You're going to get one of the 2 that drop from that type of boss, whether it's a world boss, a delve boss, a 4-man dungeon boss, a trial boss, whatever. All right, continue.
Right. And as to what I was trying to make sure is that every day for each type of boss, the first boss you kill will guarantee drop a Dremora Plunder Skull. Right? That's what I was trying to make sure of.
Okay.
And the list is, for the motifs is, arena bosses will drop bows and legs. Dark Anchor and Gazer bosses will drop daggers and glows. Delve bosses will drop staves and belts. Final dungeon bosses, I assume they mean the 4-man dungeons.
Yes.
Yes, they
will
do.
drop helmets and maces. Public dungeons and quest bosses will drop shields and boots. Final trial bosses will drop swords and chests, which I assume are going to be the most expensive ones.
Yep.
World bosses drop. World bosses will drop shoulders and axes. So that's the list.
Yeah. And we will have that in the description of the podcast, the official Elder Scrolls Online page. I recommend bookmarking that during the event so you know exactly what it is you're going to be going for if you are a motif collector. So
Yeah. And it says it here as well. You can defeat each individual type of boss and be guaranteed a Dremora Plunder Skull once per day.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get 7 Plunder Skulls a day. If you are lucky, since they all drop 2 different motif pages, in 2 days, if you are lucky, you will get all your motifs. If you're not lucky, you might start getting duplicates, but...
I think the wording of that is incorrect.
Really?
It's 1 Dremora a day.
Right. So your
It's not
first
one
you
from
pick
each
gives you
one.
one. Yeah.
I was under the impression you can get 1 skull from each boss every day.
Well, you can, but not the Dremora skulls. You'll just get a plunder
no,
skull.
Oh,
Yeah,
Huh.
you get one. At least this is what I believe the situation is.
Yeah.
You get 1 guaranteed Dremora Plunder Skull. Then it's going into, say you just farm the same delve for 14 hours. Every time you kill him, you'll get a Plunder Skull like in the previous years. And there's a chance it could give you something of use like the Dremora one, but you only get a guarantee on your first clear of him.
Yeah, that
then
part,
it turns
yes.
to RNG.
But
I gotcha.
But the question is, like, is it a guaranteed drop on the first arena boss, first Dark Anchor boss?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I
why-
see.
yeah.
Oh, I follow you.
Yeah. So you can do like 1 of each of them every day, and it's a guaranteed drop. No,
It's
so
a
I'm still
guaranteed
stuck.
drop for the very first of whichever you're going to do. Okay? So if you do
Okay.
arena boss first, you will guarantee a Dremora drop. The next one will not be a Dremora drop.
No, but
Right.
here's what it says, Ak. You can defeat each individual type of boss and be guaranteed a Dremora Plunder Skull once per day.
Does
meaning
it
you
say
can
that?
acquire up to 7
Yeah.
each day.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
what I
right.
thought.
That I was going to say. I think you. If that's how. I think you're right because I did not. I was reading that the same way as Ag. I was thinking it was like, okay, you kill 1. I'm going to start with my trials every day because those are going to be where the money's at.
Mhm.
And then I'll hopefully like get something from a world boss or a Dark Anchor or something like that. But if I can just guarantee 1 at each, it's like, okay, well, I'll just run the gauntlet or something.
Here's the thing: there isn't even a chance to drop more Dremora Skulls because it says you can acquire up to 7 each day. And should you defeat the same type of boss again after already receiving your Dremora Plunder Skull, you'll
Yeah, you
receive a
don't get it.
regular Plunder Skull instead. There is no, like, you cannot farm
Interesting.
it
Okay, so I misunderstood
non-stop.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
It is
Dremora
confusing.
Skulls 1 per day for each
it
type
is
of
ex-
boss. That's it.
Okay. But
It
you-
is confusing.
it-
I would like.
if you get 100% lucky, though, you could get all of your slots in, as Ark said, 2 days.
Yeah,
but
2
you would
days,
have to get one, you'd have to do all 7 boss types each day and get a different motif each time, which is probably unlikely. But
Then again, you
Right.
can always find people,
Who will trade.
willing to trade.
That's
Yeah.
and I think
that's
that
true.
they always. I mean, the Worm Call one from the other event. I mean, they kind of like give it so that like there's such high demand during the event. People are also super willing if you're willing to trade a piece to flip yours because everybody's at least in it, and then afterwards, usually the market goes haywire because nobody can get them anymore, and now it's
Right.
like, oh, I'm missing 1 piece, and now I can't even earn it. So
yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't be selling any of mine during the event. I would be holding them
No.
until after.
or except day 1, people go crazy on day 1 of things for some reason.
Fair.
And it's like, oh, I don't understand. It's like, dude, you have the event just started. We've been playing for 11 minutes. Like, just because I got one, it's not worth $1.7 million. Like, that's ridiculous.
I would still start, like, if you have a team, I would still start with the trial one, because I mean, four-man dungeon, everyone can do it with a pug on normal, unless Blood Moon King happens.
Unless you get a DLC.
Yeah. See last week's show.
I mean, for myself, I don't think I'll be able to do the trial one unless I go for a pug group or just
do it a pug group. Normal will be nice and easy.
Yeah, if you do like a normal Hellrod pug, I mean that's straightforward.
I would
enough.
still have to find one. Can
go to Belkarth. Go to
Belkarth. Just yell in Belkarth while running around. People will pick you up. That's how I actually got into my successful VMall group. Somebody got really angry at their tank and kicked them. And they took me in on the stipulation that I had a title that said that I had played a lot pretty much at the time. And they're like, okay, well, if you cause us to wipe, we're kicking you immediately. We didn't wipe, so I got a crew that made it through VMall.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the same on the EU server. I'm sure it is, but on the NA server, Belkarth is the unofficial official spot to go for trials.
Yep.
So
I have to check. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter what trial it is. It's Belkarth is where you go to.
It's the same on PS4. Everybody's just shouting for what they need.
Yep. I go there to recruit when we need randoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Belkarth is what people consider the place to go for any type of pledge, or not pledge stuff, trial stuff, because there is no queuing for those.
Right. The original endgame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
And as finally they are bringing some, witches items back to the Crown Store. It's the, masked Senchei, the furnishing, Hollowjack furnishing pack, and the cottage, like the Coven Witch, exercised Coven Cottage. Yes.
Oh yeah, that thing's neat. Can't you buy that with gold as well?
I don't think so.
I think you can.
I think you can.
Because I got it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I've never bought a Crown House.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. It comes on and and it wasn't even super expensive, I don't believe.
No.
It was just kind of like a fun little...
I can't remember how much it was, but yeah, it was cheap enough that I'm like, yeah, why not? And I bought it because I'm like, well, it only comes out once a year. Screw it. I'll just buy it because it's only so much gold. It wasn't a whole lot. But again,
for you rich people.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a couple $100K, I think.
Gold for you.
Yeah, so that's really expensive for me.
I think I would actually
average ESO wealth.
Not.
The look of disgust when he said that's expensive on Axe face was...
All I'm sitting here is going like,
how dare you?
Freaking casual pleb.
Yeah. Well,
if I had not decorated the Hunter's Glade, I would have been at $1 million gold right now for the first time ever in ESO, but it didn't happen again.
I've given millions of gold away.
Why not?
I have 45,000 gold total.
That's 45,000 on this alt that I never play.
I am poor.
Well, here I am in the middle class at $1 million.
We need Zust to step in and just distribute Ag's gold.
You wacky communist.
I don't know.
I was going to say the 1% movement is back in ESO.
I am literally below the poverty line in ESO.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't buy the cheapest house. I mean, you are,
That's rough.
I have houses because I bought one with crowns, and that's the only reason I have a house. I mean, anything else is just not happening.
Wow. And here people play games to escape reality. Poor Promethean's like, oh, I'm worse off here than I am in real life.
There's so much crushing dead in Tamriel.
You shouldn't have went to the College of Sapiarchs.
I want to buy.
That tuition, man, it gets you. It gets you every time.
Oh man.
Oh wow. All right, Ark, where are we
This
at?
was the end of the news, unless I missed something while I was being not sleeping. I don't know.
No,
I think that was all.
I think that's it. I think we've reached the end of this episode of Tales of Tamriel. So, of course, I got to say thank you so much to the awesome chat room who was out here. You guys are amazing. And, of course, my co-host. Let's find out where you can find... Oh, wait. Why am I thinking... Lotus, I'm going to pass this to you because you probably know more of the details, but the Extra Life, I want to keep making sure we talk about that each and every episode until, we do it. So
Game day.
Yeah.
All right. So things are still being finalized with the exacts on how we're going to be doing the stream breakup. But at this point, it looks like since everybody that been contacted in the ESO podcast fam is all about this, we are going to have a more or less ESO podcast fam version headed by Jibs and Cash of the Lore Seekers for Extra Life on November 3rd this year. For those of you who might not know what Extra Life is, it is a nonprofit organization that raises money for the Children's Miracle Network's hospitals through gaming marathons. It started a while back. I believe this is actually the 10th year that they're doing it. My 6th, but they've been running for 4 years before even I had known about it. Everything goes to the hospitals. You can pick individualized ones if you would like to join. So how this works is we are going to be finalizing how we're going to do a 24-hour streaming marathon broken up amongst the different podcasts. The Sons of Sithis, the Tenants, us at Tales of Tamriel, and the Lore Seekers. And what's going to happen is it will most likely be someone will start, host, stream for a block, and then host the following podcast. Seems to be the style that we're going to go with, because doing a 24-hour marathon is quite grueling and also, 24 hours worth of time consuming. So it's a fantastic cause. If you would like to join the team, the Lore Seekers actually have an Extra Life team grouped up. You can join if you would like to be involved with it and do fundraising on, or if you want to just support what we're all doing with it and want to come hang out on stream day, game day, you don't have to donate that day. You can donate to the thing at any point. It's entirely able to be written off on your taxes if you need. I have talked firsthand to a lot of these people, and they're, it's very honest, very straightforward. Give you information you need pretty quickly, so you don't even really need to worry too much about needing to track people down. You get a receipt instantly for it. The exact stream times will be kind of finalized as we get closer to the event on November 3rd.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we talk about it each week so people remember, because even I'm going to be doing this. Will be my first one, actually, so I'll be doing it for a little bit. Not this 24-hour thing. I'm way too old for that, but I will. I
tell myself that all the time.
We forgot a thing.
What?
Yep.
Networking on Nirn.
I was going to ask that after we hit this up. Do we actually have one?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do that.
It's in my notes. I was actually myself, but that's fine.
No. We'll do it as soon as we're done with the Extra Life.
Yeah.
I really want people to, hey, no matter whatever your political stance is, whatever, however you want to look at it, this is one of those charities where you really can do no wrong, because kids are innocent regardless of any stance you have. You may not like a certain thing, so you won't support it. If you can't say that about these awesome kids, then, well, you're a horrible human
being. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, you don't, the way I see it, you don't even have to be in United States, because I think that's all where, maybe in Canada as well, I don't know, but I think...
there are some hospitals in Canada, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, but they are active in basically the America, generally.
Yes.
United States, Canada, whatever. But even if you're not in, that part of the world, even if you don't live there, that's still, you don't even have to have any political whatever, it's just, you could be living in the other side of the world, but it's still a great cause because children are children regardless. They're not bound by nationalities, whatever. It's just,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. They deserve their
kids.
fair
Go
shot.
over all
Totally.
those things, borders, politics.
Yeah.
When it comes to children, those things are nah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I definitely wanted to mention this, because it is an amazing charity. Because for those who don't know what it is, I know we talk about it a lot, and these hospitals are taking care of these children's medical bills and things of that nature, regardless of their ability to pay. And they're going to do it. They're just going to take care of these kids as they should. And this is to help make sure that they can continue to do this and take care of these incredibly sick children. So make sure you check that out.
Lotus, I just to show people how serious the extra life, like the gaming side of this charity is. Do you remember the last numbers from the last year? It was something millions, but
I believe last year I want to say last year it was. Christ, every year it's been more extreme than the previous year, and I'm trying to remember what exactly. Oh, we lost somebody.
Yeah, Promethean.
Yep, there he is.
We lost him again.
2000. Let me see. I'm trying to remember exactly what the total was last year. I think it was like
18?
$8 million. I think it was like $8 million raised or something ridiculous last year alone. And I think total,
it was a lot.
I think they're at like 20 million.
Yeah.
Like over the 10-year span that they've been doing it. But I think last year alone, it raked in like 8 million or something. It is somewhere right around there. It is very, very, the numbers have gotten quite impressive as more and more time has gone by. Because again, kind of just making sure people know about it. It's steadily catching on more and more each time so that more people know about it, because it's a fantastic cause.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the numbers as well, so that people might think, they're like,
it's not a small
what are they
thing.
raising?
It's not a small event anymore. It's quite extreme. I mean, like, I do things separately because you guys have actually helped me with my Extra Life efforts in previous years and shouted me out and actually donated and stuff to my thing. And, I'll mention mine some other time, because I actually don't do mine on game day. I do it slightly after, because my anniversary is that weekend. So it's a little awkward to be on. So since that's the benefit, like that's what I do. That's why I stream, is for Extra Life. That's why I started streaming before. It's just to donate to that. And, the amount people donate to these things when they just meet me, but then I send them a link to the cause. And it's amazing how this community, as well as like Twitch, actually can be, especially when there's like a good cause behind it. So
yeah, absolutely. Definitely make sure we'll be shouting this out every single week until, like I said, till game day, obviously. And then I encourage you to come out and support the streamers, support the children first and foremost. That is something that is very near and dear to my heart. I know ever since I became a dad, kids get to me more than almost anything else. So, yeah. I mean, if anything were to happen to my kid that he would need this, that's how I have to look at it. Like, this is one of the best causes out there, because kids,
they don't have an agenda.
They don't.
There's no agenda.
Yeah, no.
It's just they haven't had their fair shot.
I'm actually kind of breaking up at this point.
That's what I mean.
And I have no idea what I could even say at this point, but you come out and help the kids. Whew. Okay, let's get off this before I start crying on stream. So let's go ahead and move on to networking and Nirn before we close out the show.
Okay, so I want to give this
I'm
back to charity. Yeah, I was going to say back to charity in a positive, like, let's attempt not to cry on stream.
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
So this week in networking on Nirn, it's not a podcast. It's he is now a Twitch streamer, but I would like to just refer to him as one of the pillars of the ESO community in general. I assume most people will know who this person is. If you don't, I strongly suggest reaching out to him, checking out his Twitch stream, because he now has started streaming himself on Twitch, and he's very interesting, very entertaining guy. His Twitch channel is packed to the rafters because everybody's friends with him before he started streaming. It is Tea and Crumpet. You've probably heard me mention him a couple times. He is a just all around fantastic human being. I met him during I forget which Twitch stream it was, but he is notorious for bombing channels to the point that it throws the host off their game by subbing so many people to the channel that their alerts won't stop going off. He's unreasonably generous with time and money and everything. He is super supportive. He has never asked anybody I've ever seen for anything back. It's just a simple, like, I like this game and I want to see this game thrive. And he came into some money after some tragic events have happened in his life, and he has turned it into a super positive thing. I don't have his exact number. He doesn't have it pinned. I was really hoping he did. I don't know how many gifted subs he had, but there was a running tally for a while. I do know that it's over $10,000 donated on Twitch to various streamers.
He has over 3,600 gift subs.
Gifted subs? Okay.
Yeah. So community.
So that's that's pushing closer to like 20,000. Because it's unreal. And he is, like I said, he's a super nice guy. The event that you guys shouted out for me, and I've mentioned a couple times, where my friend had pretty extreme double lung replacement surgery for cystic fibrosis over the summer. He was in my stream for, I think, 24 of the 24 hours that I was playing.
Yeah, I think he gifted me a sub.
He gifted me one too.
Yeah, same. My Lotus sub came from it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the internet's, because all I did was mention it in passing because we had kind of just talked a few times, and no prompting. I didn't ask him for anything. I just mentioned what I was doing, and it was funny because that was before I knew him super well, and he was just like, "Oh, that's very interesting." He's like, "That sounds like a pretty worthy cause. Maybe I'll be able to see you there." And I swear, like 5 minutes into my stream, he was like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Blah. And every time a new wave of people would come in, he's like, "Just a moment." And then my entire alerts would explode because he would sub like 50 people to my channel because everything was going to the charity. And at one point, I think all 300 people were subbed in my chat.
Wow.
He was like, "Oh, who's the guy behind you who's helping?" And it was my friend Rick. And he was like, "Just a minute." He went in the stream and started gifting all of them subs as well. And I'm just like, this dude is like unreal. So monetarily, he's very generous. He was just there the entire time, cheering me on and chatting with us and talking with everybody. Super nice guy, very entertaining on stream. His British accent is fantastic. But I strongly suggest, if you don't know him, absolutely meet him. And he is T_AN, like Ann, not and, _Crumpet on both Twitch and Twitter. He responds to both of them. He's already affiliated. He's only done that many streams, but since we all owe him, despite the fact that he says we don't, when we all show up to his thing, I'm pretty sure he'll be partnered on Twitch before long, because when he's live, it's so many people from, like, there aren't other Twitch streamers that stream ESO because we're all in his chat talking to him. So he is a fantastic human being that people should definitely get to know if you don't already know him.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I say it, T's streams are the nexus of ESO Twitch community, because
Yes.
as you said, everyone is there. And as Isha just said, he is actually live right now, and I'm looking at his, like, I'm lurking
Yup.
on the side.
Yeah, he pops on late.
Yeah, I just saw Isha Isha became a moderator in chat, and she just said here as well. So congrats, Isha, and being a moderator of as well.
Yep.
Let me actually type it in chat.
Yeah, type it in chat for people.
I got it.
Well, you can actually hold on a second. I'm going
Yes.
to mod you.
Oh boy.
There you go. So now you can post links. Actually,
More
go ahead and
responsibility.
link to him as well, because we're
Yes.
ending anyway. So definitely link to him.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, he's the way he talks, and it's just a very wholesome man.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And his wife has some medical problems, so he's also taking. Everybody understands, like, if he needs to take a break, it's something more important. And I remember he was super like, oh, this might not be for me. And it's one of those things. It's like, dude, like, you've done so much for us. Trust me, we're here for you. You take care of what you need to do. We're here to hang out with you. Like,
right.
So, very, very nice guy.
Cool. Yep. Definitely link that in there. And that's awesome. So glad about seeing that. All right. Now that we're where we actually need to be, let's go ahead and talk. Where can people find our host here? Let's start with Promethean.
So you can find me anywhere that is Promethean99. Twitter, not Twitch, because I don't have the time for that, unfortunately, to stream. Or on PS4. If you'd like to come hang out with me, I am always going to accept your friend request. I will be in ESO when I can, and you are more than welcome to send me a group invite, and I will come hang out with you and do whatever. I will be there. I have no other life other than ESO and my online friends. So come and hang out.
Will you come on the PC side and roll in my piles of gold with me?
If I wanted to purchase the game, if I had money to purchase the game again, yes.
Okay. When you do, we're just gonna jump into a giant Scrooge McDuckian vault of all my ESO gold.
That's exactly what I pictured too.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Lotus, where can people find you?
So I stream as much as my terrible setup will allow until it's fixed. At Lotus OD on Twitch, because I don't know, for some reason I still can't have my actual name, but I'm Lotus OD on Twitch, and I'm Lotus of Doom on Twitter. If you ever want to talk to me, that's usually the easiest way. I'm floating around there, or check in at work, because I don't need Wi-Fi for Twitch, Twitter. So yeah, you can find me at either of those places.
Cool. Arkhaniir.
Right. Well, I am anywhere that is Arkhaniir, ARKHANIIR. I'm streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Arkhaniir. I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/Arkhaniir. And if you want to send me an email, and the characters on Twitter is not long enough, you can do so over at arkhaniir@gmail.com. That's about it.
All right. Well, I guess if you want to find me, you can find me both on the North American PC mega server at Aggelos, or on Twitter at Aggelos, AGGELOS_DCN, and of course on twitch.tv/Dungeon Crawler Network, because this is the only place that I actually stream when I do stream, but I don't stream that often because, I just don't. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. I try, but I don't. It's okay. I do so much with the network and family and my real job.
Fair, I consider the podcast like a pretty solid stream. This has been the majority of my streaming. Me hosting you doing this with me.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, because I do 2 different shows. So yeah, that it's going to pretty much be one or the other when we do these. So check that out. And, of course, you can follow everything we do over at DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Another thing to note, we are also now on Spotify. So if you like to listen to your podcasts, hey, Now you can check us out there as well. Tales of Tamriel on Spotify. Be sure to check out our Patreon program at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork. There you can help support our show. You can also support us by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we're going to see you next time. See you later, everybody. Seems like I moved the cat out of the way.
Perfect way to end. Another Khajiit attack.
Well, this is the end of the show, so of course.
That's true. It's time for the
Runs the tail by
segment. She does it to me every single time. It's just like, seriously, cat, come on. I'm trying to end the show here, trying to click on the right thing, and of course it's not going to let me do any of that. So, great. So now you have an extra long closing. Thank you so much, guys. See you.
Bye.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.